Okay, fellow colleagues and friends, we'll be starting our session. So for today's session, we are going to speak on APEL, Accreditation of Prior Experiential Learning in Malaysia. Today's session, I believe, will be roughly around an hour and a half to. It is quite a bit of an update compared to the last session that I actually did. The reason is because as you will go along, you will see that for those of you who have actually been to my earlier sessions, APEL has evolved. So we have this thing called APEL M. So that is something quite interesting that we are going to discuss. We are going to talk about later today. Now, so the whole journey, as I said, will take roughly an hour and a half to do, and we should be done by 11 or maybe 11 plus a little bit. So at any time, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And let's make this a fun session on Friday morning. Okay, so when we talk about APEL itself, APEL stands for Accreditation of Prior Experiential Learning. Now, APEL in many different countries will be seen and also will be defined in different terms. However, the basic fundamentals are actually the same. So when you look at APEL itself, APEL is basically to accredit, that means to recognize. So the first word is accredit, to recognize, prior, before, experiential means comes from the word experience, so is anything to do with experience, and experience may not be formal. Experience can come in many different senses or styles. We go down to town, it is also an experience. We go overseas, it is an experience. We fell down a chair while or standing on a table and we fall down, that is also an experience. And all of these experiences actually creates a certain level of learning in all of us. Now, learning, what is learning basically? Learning is an attainment of knowledge in many different senses. Learning doesn't have to be formal in such that we need to go school to learn. No, even in observation, we are also doing learning. When you sit down in the park, you observe people's behavior, that is also learning. And things such as like going to YouTube videos. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, YouTube videos are a major a source of learning. Very good learning itself, depending on where you get the YouTubes from, lah, of course. And those things are learning. And in the process of learning, there are always challenges. Okay, so sometimes when we learn new things, we try, we replicate, we demonstrate, and we fail. And when we fail, we learn from our failures. So that is all about learning. So when we talk about APEL, Accreditation of Prior Experiential Learning, the explanation actually in those words itself is very clear. We recognize what you have learned before through your experience or through your numerous styles of attainment of knowledge. That is what APEL is, simple as that. However, it is impossible for us to just take lock, stock, and barrel when somebody tells you, sir, I have actually that level. Sir, I actually know about computing. I actually know about Excel. I actually know about marketing or accounting or physics or chemistry or something like that. We can't just take what they say. We just can't take whatever they say as the truth. So in anything to do with APEL, the first thing that I would like to stress in the welcome is this thing called bukti or evidence. There must be evidence of attainment of learning. There must be evidence. Okay, so for many of you, you all know you guys are academicians. How do you get evidence that your students attain a particular level of knowledge? So what do you all do? You all do assessment. It can be a presentation, it can be an exam, and so on. What are those? Those are tools for you to ascertain that the student have achieved a certain level. And that is the evidence, the bukti. Okay, because you teach one semester, after teaching already, there's no proof that the student has attained that level. How do you do it? You give an assessment. So the assessment is a tool to ascertain whether the individual has or have attained that particular level of knowledge, and that is the evidence. If I want you to prove to me, you tell me that you can bake a cake. Yep, I'm very good at baking. I'm an expert. I love to bake. What is the best evidence? Is it an essay? Do you think an essay to demonstrate your competency in baking is the best tool or assessment to determine that you are competent in baking? Yes or no? What do you think?
No.
No. Yes.
No.
No. No. Yes. Exactly. No. No. Yes. I'm saying yes to your answer. No. No. Yes. Have to bake. Definitely. Why do we need to use that method? Baking. Why? Why baking? Why not essay? Demonstration. Because in the context of baking or demonstrating competency in baking, what do you want to see? You want to see the outcome. You want to see the cake itself. An essay is not good enough. However, an essay can be a good method to ascertain achievement of a competency in different things. Maybe in marketing, all right? It could be, for example. So that could be a demonstration used to ascertain level in competency. So this is what APEL is in a nutshell. And one key aspect over here is evidence. Evidence, evidence, evidence. Okay, so let's go. Hold on. So what are we going to talk about in today's session? How did APEL come about? Types and objective of APEL, policies, assessment tools, and implementation. I will also stress very clearly that there are numerous types of APEL. However, we as an institution over here can only implement, apply, and do one, which is APEL C. I will go into it in more detail. Okay, so I think the key element over here is to start from the basis of emergence of APEL. APEL basically came out in thought in the early 2000 and noughties, the noughties. That means there were a lot of thought during then, and only recently in 2011, 12, somewhere there, only it started APEL in Malaysia. One key aspect was due to the Malaysian Education Blueprint 2015-2025, which emphasized, if you look at the point number 3 there, is nation of lifelong learners. That is one key aspect in our academic or education blueprint of Malaysia itself. Research was done and it was identified that there were a lot of individuals in Malaysia that did not have the qualification, not due to competency. Now, guys, there's a difference here. Qualification and competency. Qualification is the award that you get. Competency is the ability. Please take note, there are many individuals who are very qualified, yet not competent. Nor some people who are very competent, yet not qualified. Of course, we would like to have an optimum situation where these two go hand in hand. Your competency will be recognized with your correct qualification, of course. But in this world, it is not so. We know there are a lot of individuals who are very good, very intelligent individuals, but due to circumstances when they were young, they did not manage to attain their qualification. Maybe after SPM, they needed to work. All right. Why? No money to study. Yeah, life is like that. So these individuals basically have reached a glass ceiling to a certain extent, not so much on the gender glass ceiling, but on the qualification glass ceiling, where limits them to proceed because they lack certain levels of qualification, even though they are competent. So there are a lot of individuals in this area over there. So what the government actually thought of was, we have the formal element where individuals who complete O levels or SPM can continue to tertiary education or STPM or foundation and so on. However, there is another big sum of individuals who are working already but never got the qualification. So what about these people over there? Is it correct for us to neglect them? And the answer is no. Because when we talk about learning, the attainment of knowledge, it is not something that we stop when we are 25 or when we leave higher education itself. No, it is continuous. Okay, every day we learn. Every day we learn. Every day we better ourselves and so on. All right. And which I want to bring in these two terms, I think many of you will know. Upskilling and reskilling. All right. Skill comes from the word skill. upskilling and reskilling. Upskilling is for us to increase our competency in our field. For me, I'm in education. Upskill means I become a better teacher by adding on knowledge about education that I learned. This upskill. Reskill is I am an educator today, but I foresee the future. There is no need for me anymore. I'm going to be irrelevant. Okay, I'm going to be, because that is how the market is changing. Technology is going to take over me. So I need to reskill. Reskill means I change my mold as an educator. I change it to something else. How do I do that? I reskill myself by going for training, learning, and whatnot. So that is called reskilling. So understand, guys, these two terms, upskill and reskill. All right. So basically, the government understands this. A lot of our working individuals are in this dilemma over there where they need to be competent by upskilling and reskilling. All right. So that is why they emphasize a lot on this APEL. We need to recognize this individual skill that they have. And by doing so, we need to give them certain academic benefits, such as credit transfer for them to complete their formal education. All right. So this makes it attractive because, guys, if you look at it, just picture a senior manager that is 45 years old today, but highest level of qualification, let's say only a diploma or SPM. You ask this chap to do a degree, 3 years full time, part time 5 years. Is going to be a very, very difficult endeavor for you. Okay. 5 years, guys, working 45 years old, got family to take care of. You want him to do 5 years to commit. Some of you may say, Gabe, no problem. I took my PhD for 7 years. Different lah. You guys are academician. All right. But just picture a lot of these people. So it is not attractive. A lot of these people want to get this qualification, but because the thought of 5 years, the thought about 6 years becomes a deterrent for them to actually want to do higher education. So this is why it is, as what it is, what I stressed over there, it is the government's drive. That is why they started to implement APEL. Okay, they wanted individuals who are working, wanted individuals who have not attained qualification to be able to attain this qualification. All right, guys, following, so it's government's push, which I truly agree lah. Okay. So the next step, very important in our today's briefing, is to understand these MQF levels. Now, in Malaysia, basically, we are governed by this thing called the MQF. It is known as the Malaysian Qualifications Framework. You all know, right? So this one very important. So in Malaysia's qualifications framework, because it is a framework, as you all know as academicians, framework means got steps on lah, is fixed lah. This is how it is. But it doesn't mean it is fixed for life. If there is a need for evolution or change, it will change. But at the current state, this is our framework. So guys, you all must know this by heart. As academicians, you must know this by heart. And what does this framework dictate is, we have this thing called levels, or in BM called tahap. Tahap 1 sampai tahap 8. 8 is the highest, 1 is the lowest. 1, 2, 3 is called certificate, 4 diploma, 5 advanced, 6 degree, 7 masters, 8 is PhD. All right, so very simple. According to Malaysia's framework, for you to attain a 6, you need to come from a lower level, like a 4 or something like that. Then you can jump onto a 6 or a 5. Okay, this is what the framework states. So, as we all know, for you to join a diploma, you need SPM. For you, in a nutshell, for you to join a degree, you need STPM or have a diploma, then you'll be able to get credit transfer. So these are the key aspects. That is what the MQF states. Okay, so and it impacts our entry requirement. So when you look at APEL, if you look at the slide over there on the right, there's this thing in yellow. It states that for lifelong learning recognition, APEL, Accreditation of Prior Experiential Learning, is recognized for all levels. is recognized for all levels, level 1 all the way to level 8. Don't worry, with the numerous levels of types of APEL later I explained, you will be clearer. But what is important for us to understand now is, in Malaysia, we have this framework, and this framework is set in stone at the moment. Okay, and APEL is recognized in all of this. Okay. So as what we said already, the first part, what APEL is, and when we talk about prior learning, so we also need to understand how do we assess prior learning. All right. So when we talk about prior learning that I done before, it is divided into 3 elements. All right. 1 is called the formal, 2 is called the informal, and 3 is called the non-formal. All right. So there are 3 aspects of learning, prior learning, that we can recognize. Okay. So formal, easy lah. Formal is the level of qualification that you attain from a formal source. SPM is formal learning. You did a diploma in tailors is formal learning. You did your master's in UOW is formal learning. You went down to Petaling Street and joined a 2-day course in photography is not formal learning. So formal learning is any kind of learning that comes from a formal source, formal qualification, formal governing body. That is called formal learning. In Malaysia, very easy. We got MQF mah. So formal learning is anyone in the MQF levels over there. Very simple. And of course, SPM, STPM, we don't touch lah. Those are formal learning lah. But in our tertiary education, formal learning is very straightforward over there. Understand? So that is formal learning. Now, non-formal learning, I'm just looking at the picture and I'm going to explain to you. Non-formal learning is any learning that you use, that you attain through your own initiative. You go and join Coursera course. Coursera, all right? At the end of the day, a 5-day program about accounting. You join, you finish already. That is non-formal learning. It is not under the Malaysian qualifications framework. It is something you do based on you get a certificate, but it's not under MQF, for example. That is called non-formal learning. Informal learning is learning on your own interests. You go to YouTube, you learn about baking, then you can bake a cake. No certificate, no set structure, nothing. But you learn something, that is called informal learning. All of you here, I guarantee you, you have formal learning and informal learning. Definitely got. Non-formal depends. Some of us are into Coursera kind of thing. Some of us like to do micro-credentials. Some of us maybe not. Some of us like to sign up for courses. Some of us maybe not. Fine. But I can guarantee you, you guys, formal learning you have. That is why you are all here, academicians. And you have done certain informal learning. Okay? It could be reading a magazine. It could be observing. It could be joining photography clubs and so on. That is informal learning. Okay? Now, so as what it was stated earlier on, okay, formal learning refers to learning that occurs in an organized and structured environment. Intentional and assessment of learning leads to an award or a formal qualification or certification. Clear? Clear, guys? Clear? Very important, yeah? So that's formal learning. Informal learning, as I put in red, self-effort. Your self-effort, you just like it. Many of us got interest right now. Photography can be an interest in many of you. You just like it. You learn, even though you are a computer IT engineer, for example, but you just love photography and you just enjoy it. And that is called informal learning. Okay. And of course, non-formal refers to learning that is intentional, which may be conducted in a structured and organized environment. This form of learning may not necessarily lead to a formal certification. You join Coursera, it's intentional. You didn't accidentally join Coursera. It's intentional and it is structured, but it may not come up with a formal certificate. There may be no formal certificate. There is no degree, diploma, and so on. It could be just certificate of attendance. So these are the levels of learning. So ladies and gentlemen, it's a bit clearer now, right? Now, in our context as academicians, for us, it's always formal learning, where when we recruit a student, we ask them, what is your highest level of qualification? So students say, my highest level qualification is diploma, SPM. So automatically in your mind, you are thinking, if got 5 credits, can do foundation. If got 3 credits, there are certain diplomas that they can do. That is called formal learning lah. That is formal learning. So now we are taking a step forward by looking at, not only do we recognize formal learning, we also recognize informal and non-formal learning. So the big question mark here is, how do we recognize? Coming soon. Okay, any questions so far, guys? Okay, paham? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Following. All right, thank you. So basically, APEL in Malaysia is underpinned by the following core principles. These I purposely extract bulat-bulat from the policy. Prior experiential learning should be recognized regardless of how and where it was obtained. So, number one, Malaysia already stated, regardless how and where it was obtained, provided it is related to learning or a form of competency acquisition. Assessment will be based on authentic, flexible, current, and reliable evidence. You want to assess, you want to evaluate to see whether the student say that he has achieved that. You must have evidence. Bukti, bukti, bukti. That is very important. Assessment will be conducted by practitioners, experts in the field of related field. Okay, so if I assess, I can assess based on my expertise matters pertaining to academic, teaching and learning, and hospitality. Those are my fields of expertise. I cannot assess a student on engineering or statistics because I am not competent in that level. Okay, I am not competent. So when we talk about APEL, the assessments are done by experts who will then ascertain whether that person is of a certain level. The method of assessment will be tailored to the level and experience of the learners, thus providing an opportunity for learners to demonstrate their acquired competency. So we assess them based on their, it'll be tailored to their level and experience. Yeah, later I'll talk about that. Decisions of the APEL assessment should be transparent and subject to appeal and review. Yes, when we do assessment, it is very transparent, and the student, if they fail, they can appeal, we can discuss why they fail. Okay. Information and support services will be actively publicized, taking into account the diversity of the student. So the information that will be given needs to be in a way accessible by all our students or open market or the population itself. And quality assurance mechanism should be clear and transparent. All right. Students need to know why they fail or why they pass. So this is what APEL is. It is a very transparent process that students who join, students who take this, who go through this process will very clearly understand why they attain that particular level. Okay. So in a nutshell, defined as a systematic process that involves the identification, documentation, assessment of prior experiential learning. Okay, to determine the extent to which an individual has achieved the desired learning outcome. The APEL process involves assessment. First one, the first paragraph here is the process. The process is a systematic process. Very, very clear. Second part is to show that there must be a method to assess them. How do you assess that they achieve that particular level? And the third one is to the activities and the evidence that they must prove that they have achieved that level. Once we understand this key concept, then APEL is quite straightforward. Never take students' word as face value. You need to make sure that they show evidence, evidence, evidence. Okay, so that is what it is. So we already understand the basis and the foundation of what APEL is. Now, what types of APEL are there? So we have A, C, and Q. Now, M, you see there is a subset. So it is A, C, and Q. A stands for assess. Assess means masuk. Assess. It means APEL A are for students who do not meet minimum entry requirements of a program. A student want to do masters. Entry requirement of masters is a degree. MQF lah, remember? Tahap 7. Okay. In camera, it's a bit different. Level 7, you need a level 6. I don't have degree. I got diploma. Can I go into master? In our framework, cannot. But you go through APEL A, you can, with certain conditions that you must meet. APEL C is credit transfer. We, UOW Malaysia, is an APEL C center. All right. So we are APEL C center now. C means credit transfer is student already in the program. But student work before, a lot of years of experience. They can apply APEL C to get credit transfer for certain percentage of their program. Okay. Example. I give you one simple example over here. Me. Let's say I suddenly join UOW. I'm an individual. I join UOW and I join hotel school. I want to do a degree in hotel and tourism. Okay. However, I was working in a hotel before. All right. Okay. So I'm doing a degree. So now I'm in the degree already. And then there is this subject called beverage management. Beverage management. When I was in a hotel, I was a bartender. Let's say I was a bartender. So I have many years of experience inside already. I know about beverage, this and that. Do I need to do that? Yes, I still need to do that subject, ma. But because we are an APEL C center, I can apply for APEL C for the subject course of beverage management. So I apply, I write an essay. Dear sir, I would like to apply because I was 15 years as a bar manager in Shangri-La. I know everything about beverage, blah, 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 and so on. Understand? Huh? Now, UOW cannot take my word for it. So they need evidence. Okay. What kind of evidence do you think UOW should ask or could ask on this matter? What kind of evidence, guys? Any of you can answer? Try. Bar manager, working in a hotel, subject. So what kind of evidence to prove that what I say is true? Not sure why my screen is having All right. Make me a mojito. Very good. Practical skill. One practical skill. That can be one. Some more. Testimony from boss. Very good. Offer letter. Very good. Lagi? What do you think? Betul. All those are evidence. Offer letter for job. Maybe. Testimony from boss. Very good. Practical. Very good. All of this lah. This is the evidence to prove of where I am. Photographs also can. Press release also can. All of those. Maybe I was in a hotel. I was the best bartender. There are press release and so on. So those are the evidence. So that is the first stage. Then I still need to assess this individual to make sure me meet the CLO of that particular course. All the CLOs. So I say that I used to be a bartender. So let's look at the CLOs. What are the CLOs? Course learning outcome of beverage management. And I need to demonstrate competency in all of them to be given credit transfer. Later, we'll talk about that. And we also have APEL Q. APEL Q is qualification. Qualification is, this is a very complex APEL. That means an individual will be awarded the qualification based on their competency of the PLO. That one a little bit different. APEL C, we talk CLO, one course. APEL Q, PLO. So if you see your diploma, your degree, or your master's program, the PLOs over there, if the individual can demonstrate competency of the PLO, then they can be awarded the award. The award, can get the master straight away. Yeah, the word straight away sounds very deceiving. The process of finding evidence is very, very complex. Very, very complex. The institution, we cannot do this. We can't do this. The institutions who are doing this normally only diploma level. Diploma. Because the higher you go to really ascertain whether the individual reach or can demonstrate those PLOs are very, very difficult. Okay, so this is only for diploma. I know SAGI is doing it. SAGI, yes, SAGI is doing it for the early childhood program diploma level. Okay, so this is what APEL-Q is. Now, let me go back to APEL-M over there. APEL-M is a subset of APEL-A. Remember, I talked about the SS part. So what is APEL-M? M stands for micro-credentials. APEL-M is very recent. It's fresh off the oven. Very, very new. It basically recognizes the micro-credentials of an unpacked program that a student has registered for. I give you an example. I give you an example. So it's like this. The story is like this. Okay, this one a bit complex, so bear with me. I'm going to use tailors as an example, easier because they actually do a bit of this thing. Okay, yeah, Ting is back. So tailors, they have let's say they have a bachelor in business. And in that bachelor of business, they have unpacked it to individual micro-credentials. The term unpack means one course, they break it down as individual micro-credentials. Understand, guys? Understand? Okay, that's unpacking. So in Malaysia's regulation, there is this micro-credentials in Malaysia can be different kinds. The most structured is called an unpacked micro-credential. A micro-credential that comes from a fully accredited program, and they break that course of that program down, one course, marketing, into 4 micro-credentials. So that is called unpacking. Okay, so that is one. So take, for example, tailors, they have unpacked their courses in the diploma and in the bachelor in business. So out of 120 credits over there, they unpack 60 credits. So 60 credits is 15 subjects. 15 subjects, they break it down into micro-credentials. Just for discussion's sake, 15 subjects multiplied by 4 micro-credential each subject. So it's 60 micro-credentials. You guys are following, So it's like that. So this is approved. They send to MQA to get approval. No problem. Then comes Gabriel over here who wants to do his working and he wants to do his degree. But because he is working, the only thing I can do is I do micro-credentials. So I pick these micro-credentials that Taylor's is offering. I do all 60, a numplo. When I finish all 60, for example, I meet already 50% of the total credits of the program. Correct lah? Right, not all 60 ma, over there. So I can apply for APEL-M. I will go to MQA side under APEL-A and to say that, sir, I have already completed 50% of the credits. I've been working for 15 years. I don't have any other qualification. I only got I only got SPM. I cannot do a degree. Normally cannot, ma. How? So based on APEL-M, I can. I will now be able to go to tailors, finish off the other 50% of the credits required for me to attain my bachelor. No need micro-credential style. I can go and join classes or part-time and so on. That is APEL-M. Entry through APEL-A, not enough qualification, but I was hardworking. I do a lot of micro-credential, and these micro-credentials were from tailors. It must be from tailors. If I do one of the subject, same accounting, but is given by UOW, cannot. Must be from tailors. Okay? Then I can join the program in tailors physically, but I can just pick up the remainder credits that I need to do only. You get this or not, guys? Okay? Now, why do they do this? The reason is because they want to encourage people who haven't signed up for the formal program yet to take initiative by starting to do the micro credentials and recognize it. Recognize these micro credentials. Okay, because if no, people will say, why shall I do the micro credential? What is the point? Right? Not so APEL-M gives benefit to that. Okay, now how many institutions are doing this? Is fresh. This is only like 3 months old only or something like that, 3 to 4 months old. The documentation only came out like 2 months ago. Okay, how many institutions are doing this? I think some of the public universities are doing this. All right, because they want for them it is encouraging the working individuals to join the program. Okay, any questions, guys? Okay, so I just want to, I think when I drag it here, you can see this is the guidelines to good practice for access APEL-A and micro credentials M. So this is the guidebook that actually just came out. It was end of 2023, but first publication you can see on the screen, but only just accessed to us not long ago. All right, so it actually just to explain to individuals that there is this APEL-M. Now, can we do APEL-A and APEL-M? We UOW cannot. We are not an APEL-A center. We are not an APEL-Q center. We are only an APEL-C center. Okay? Questions, guys? Yeah. This one can be a little bit complex to a certain extent lah. Okay? So, UOW Malaysia is an APEL-C center, currently only in Glen Marie. Now, this is where it becomes a little bit sticky. APEL-C, our APEL-C center is latched on to the University of Wollongong, Malaysia. As you know, we have 2 other colleges and over in Penang, a university college. Those are not APEL-C centers. It is only University of Wollongong, Malaysia. So in theory, if a student wants to apply for APEL-C process in a program that is under KDU College, cannot. Only the programs in the university. When you are a center, you are a center for all programs under that institution. Okay, all programs under the institution. So over here, the APEL-C center is only for the university, and the center coordinator is myself with assistance of Hazim. So any communication actually comes to us, and we are the one that will counsel and speak to the student. Okay. So as what we stress, APEL. So in continuation, APEL-A and APEL-C, I'm going to stress mainly on that just to give you a better understanding. Okay. A little bit on background for the APEL-A itself. Basically, when we talk about it, the policy only came out in 2010. 2011, it started for tahap 6, bachelor, and it went on. So only 13 years old for APEL itself. APEL started with APEL-A, and it's only started in 2011. All right. APEL-C only started in 2015, and we became a center in 2019. We became a center in 2019. So once it started, then after a few years, we became a center itself. Okay. Now, APEL-A. So just a little bit about APEL-A. I want to touch a little bit more here, especially on the assess. The reason is because most of your inquiries that you will get, friends, is on APEL-A. Let me tell you that. Most of them, because we get a lot of inquiries. Easily 90% of all inquiries I get when they come to call pertaining to APEL is on APEL-A. A lot of people, let me tell you, especially in the past 18 months, they are working, they are middle to senior manager, but no qualification. So they say, I want to do my master's, I want to do this, I want to do that. How? So a lot of them think that we can do the assess part, so we cannot. So I will normally channel them to MQA. Okay, so for APEL-A, because APEL-A basically is done by MQA. And there are certain institutions that have the permit or allowed to do APEL A in their center. All right. Now, we at UOW here, we are in partnership with one institution. It's called UPNM. All right. You know what is UPNM? It's a government institution, University Pertahanan National Malaysia. It's the Defense University. All right. In Sungai Besi. We are in partnership with them. Why? Why are we partnership? Actually, we are quite close. We work together because they are an APEL A center. So we complement each other. Got inquiries come to us, we channel to them. Inquiries come to us, we channel to them. No point for us to keep. We cannot do, right or not? Okay, so we channel to them. So students are very happy because we assist them on that. Okay, students can also directly apply to the MQA website. If you go to the website, you can apply APEL A and so on. Okay, understand, guys? So we are not an APEL A center. So anytime anybody asks you, I got SPM, I want to do degree, can or not? We all cannot. We cannot do anything. You can actually say, I'm very sorry, we are not an APEL A center. You can go to the website to have a look. MQA website, official MQA APEL website, and they can apply everything there. Okay, simple as that. Okay, now, so basically APEL A is applicable to local and international applicants. All international and local applicants. Applicants applying to entry via APEL A must meet the minimum age requirements stipulated for the various level of qualification. So basically, ministry is very clear. If you want to apply for APEL A to a master's level, level 7, you need to be minimum 30 years old. 30 years old. They do not want people who are 21 years old applying for APEL A to go into masters. Why? Because they are lazy to do the process. No, you need to be 30 years old. You need to have at least a diploma. To do masters, you need at least a diploma. Okay. So there are certain requirements stated lah. Applicants must fulfill the minimum formal qualifications stipulated for the master's and doctorate level. Applicants applying for entry via the APEL A must have prior experiential learning. They must have work experience or so on. All right. So this is the entry requirements. Example, if it is level 8 is doctorate. Doctorate, that means it could be PhD or it could be coursework doctorate. All right. Doctorate, coursework doctorate. At least 35 years, at least a bachelor, 5 years working experience, and pass the APEL A assessment for doctorate level. You get this, So let's say I only got a degree, I want to do a doctorate. Okay, can, no problem. I am 45 years old, I got many years experience. I will go to MQA. And when I go there, I register myself. If I get accepted, I will need to do an assessment. If I pass the assessment, then I can do my doctorate, even though I got no masters. You get it, Clear, Okay. So this is for level 8. For level 7, you will get a lot of inquiry for level 7. The most inquiry I get is level 7. Okay, a lot of people want to do masters, okay, especially MBA. Okay, so what is the entry requirement? 30 years old, possess at least STPM diploma or equivalent qualification, relevant working experience, and go through the APEL A assessment. Simple, 30 years old, this one, and relevant working experience. Very subjective, okay, and possess this, okay. Then bachelor degree, it goes on, and it goes on. Now, for masters and PhD, level 7 and 8, you need to determine what field you want to enter into. You need to determine. So let's say you want to do a master's. Apa pengurusan? What is your field? Engineering, for example. Business, for example. Education, hospitality. It needs to be field related. Bachelor degree and below, no need field related. bachelor degree and below, automatically, if you can go, the cert will say you are allowed to go into a level 6 program. What level 6 is up to you. Whereas when you do APEL A for masters and PhD, it is discipline related. If you do APEL A assessment for business, you pass. With the certificate, you go and see Ting Ting. I want to do masters in engineering. She cannot take you. Cannot. Because the APEL cert say, dibenarkan enter into level 7 business. You cannot join engineering. Engineering's assessment in APEL is different from business. You get this, huh? Guys, understand? A lot of students, sometimes they come to us, I got APEL already. This is my cert. We see it is different discipline from what they want to join. Automatically, we say, maaf, sorry, because your bidang is different. Okay? Very important there. Any questions, guys? For APEL A? Are we an APEL A center? Yes or no?
No.
No, yes, no, definitely. Okay, so how do we channel? MQA website, or if you want, we have a partner, UPNM. Okay.
But they need to pay certain amount, right?
Of course, you go MQA, also pay money one. Okay, I think I got the price here. Okay, all APEL A, you go into MQA or whatever, UPNM, you must pay. MQA will charge you that amount. Let's say RM450. UPNM will charge more. Why? Because in UPNM, they have workshop to help you to submit your portfolio and so on. Help you lah. So guided lah. So sometimes we in our service to our student, to our future student, we advise them. There are these two, UPNM, there is MQA, up to you. But this one, you pay a little bit more, it is guided. They got workshop, they got training to help you to pass in a way lah. Okay. So when we talk about competency, the required competency for the APEL A assessments are guided by the MQF. Can we accept them after they pass? I missed the hold on question wait Yes, APEL A is a I won't use the word qualification. It's an entry requirement that is accepted whole of Malaysia. Definitely we can accept their cert one. Definitely. Okay. Any other questions? This is a Malaysia thing. This is not a UOW thing. It's a Malaysia thing. Okay. So now, when we talk about APEL A assessments are guided by the MQF clusters of learning outcome. So when we talk about learners' competency, it is very much based on the clusters. As you all know, something that I have been repeating numerous times, there are 5 clusters and 11 subclusters. So it's the same. So when you look about competency, it is based on that, whether the student can demonstrate those competencies that are required in a particular course. Okay, so what are the APEL A assessments? Sometimes your client or your student, your prospective student may ask you, okay, what are the things that we need to do? Basically, there are 3. Aptitude test, portfolio, and interview, depending on level. Aptitude test is basically a general test on your competency. It's a very general test. I have students who have gone through an aptitude test to enter level 6, which is a degree. Her questions are divided into 3 components: Bahasa Malaysia, Mathematics, General Paper in English. Okay, they will ask you things such as as simple as how many states are there in Malaysia. Simple mathematical equation. Now, some of you, if I ask you now how many states in Malaysia, some of us may even make those mistakes. Correct? That is what aptitude test is. Okay? Portfolio is basically a portfolio of your achievement. That means Why do you think you can go into a level 6 or 7? You come out with your portfolio, your CV, your working experience, this and that, and so on. Interview is at certain levels, especially masters and above, they will interview you. They will talk to you before they grant you access, because they need to make sure you are competent to take a level 7 or a level 8 challenge. Guys, a level 7 tahap and a level 8, the expectation is actually high, you know. We are already thinking about Bloom's taxonomy level 4 and above at the minimum. 5 and 6 synthesis aspects are definite, but level 4 is the minimum. So it's actually quite academically taxing. That is why they need to interview you and talk to you to find whether are you competent in that or not, or are you able to achieve those levels. Okay, so you see over here, we managed to get this chart. It tells you if it is certificate level, only aptitude test, diploma aptitude test. If you're talking about T6, it is aptitude test and portfolio. If it is master's, coursework mixed mode, aptitude test, portfolio, interview. So this is the assessment method. This is how the individual will be assessed. Straightforward, very, very straightforward. So example, if I am applying for T7, I go to MQA website, I fill in all my form, I am accepted. Once I am accepted, MQA will put exam timetable. Dear Mr. Lau, you must come what time, what day to MQA to submit your portfolio and to do your test. So I go there and do my test. Then they may tell me, interview maybe same day, maybe another day. Not we all control, nothing to do with us. This is MQA, but just telling you roughly how the process is. So this is how it is. If it is research-based, aptitude test, no need. But you need to put research intent and presentation. Now, research intent, I checked, is actually very similar to your proposal, your research proposal. What research you want to do. Now, previously don't have, only around 12 to 18 months ago, they started having this. I may be wrong. Maybe a little bit, maybe 2 years ago, they're having this. Previously, only coursework. So, guys, today, we at UOW, we have quite a few research-related masters and PhD, of course. Okay, can. So if students don't meet entry requirement, they can go through APEL process for this. Any questions? Because this can be quite interesting for us. Any questions? No, okay, understand, Okay, so our doctorate currently in UOW, they are all research-based. We don't have DBA. DBA is coursework-based We don't have that at the moment. In the future, we may have, but it is research-based. But their assessments are the same. However, it is very much possible for students to come in. Okay, so now it opens up more opportunities. Students who may not have the entry requirements still can go through for them to do this. Now, it doesn't mean that a student already get, let's say a student went through the process of T8 APEL-A and then passed already, they come in. Immediately, they join our PhD program. Correct? They can, no problem, but it's up to us. Do you think UOW will want to accept them immediately, lock, stock, and barrel, and tell them, okay, you can do your research straight away? Maybe not. For me, I always recommend my other heads to do this. Yes, you are allowed to take them in, but you have to consider a lot of these individuals may not have the foundation and basis for things such as like research methodology, quantitative methods, and all of those other key aspects that's required for research. So you may want to do bridging. You get this or not, guys? Depending on discipline. You may want to do bridging, but my advice is always do a bit of bridging. Poor fella, suddenly from degree, never study for many years, send submission, managed to go and do a PhD. He joins a PhD, he will get cultural shock, immediately he will leave. He don't have the skills or the tools, maybe. So maybe you want to do bridging. Why did I use the word maybe? Because it is not must. But based on my research and study, a lot of institutions will do that. I understand over in business school, if you are doing your MBA and you are not coming in from a business discipline, you are an engineer, you got a degree in engineering, you want to do MBA, can, but you need to do bridging subjects. Bridging subjects are subjects not counted in your full parchment, but you are needed before you can enter. Okay, so this one is school dictated. Understand this, guys? Understand, School dictated. Now, next thing, very important. If your program is governed by an external body like nursing, like engineering, these two I can think of lah. You need their green light before you accept the students in. No, this one is, sorry. Okay, that one later, That's for more for APEL C. That's for APEL C. Later, I'll talk about that. Okay, I shall not confuse you. Now, this is APEL A. All right. See, I myself too many things in the head already. Are you guys following, guys? Are you guys following so far?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for the research intent, right? And presentation is done by MQA as well, right?
Yes, everything by MQA. Now, let me give you an example. It's like this. This one I know. Okay. I want to do PhD in engineering. I go to MQA. MQA look at me. Oh, you want to do in engineering this and that? They will channel me to maybe UM. They will channel me to UPNM, where the engineer, they have the skills and expertise over there. You get what I'm trying to say, not?
Yeah.
That's how they do. That's how they do. I've already spoken to them, and that's what they do. MQA is the main point. You apply through them, then after that, they will channel. So you can directly apply to UPNM or UM also. But it's up to you lah. This is how the individual will look lah. Yeah. Understand, guys? So that is where students, when they ask about this, that is where the general counseling takes place lah. Now, have we channeled students to UPNM? Yes, we have already. So far, we have 2 of our prospective students that have gone to UPNM to do APEL. They are in the process. All right. Once they finish, we hope they come back. The only thing is this, guys. We can counsel the student. Earlier on, they may want to join us, but after they go to UPNM, they go to MQA or whatever, it's their choice where they want to go after that. Okay, we don't bound them back to us. So if after that they are happy with UPNM, they will continue. However, our understanding with UPNM is quite mutual lah. They already say they won't curi our student lah. How truthful they are, we don't know lah. But so far so good. It's a business, it's a dog eat dog world, okay? Yeah. So that is how it is lah. Okay. Okay, so the APEL process, see, we already have the website here. Sometimes students very worried. Oh, what is this we apply to? This is a government website, it's MQA. All right. So it's basically click, you go in there, you can apply inside there for APEL A. Okay. Now, these are the prices subject to change. I believe there's a slight revision. Certificate diploma 155, 250, masters 370. Should be quite updated lah, this one. However, we don't quote this. This is for your information. Tell the students, always check the website. MQA website is always there. You click, all the pricings are inside there. Further information, everything is MQA lah for APEL A. Okay? All right. Now, I want you all to, I'll take a 10-minute break before we go to APEL C. So it's 10 a.m. sharp. At 10:10, we will continue. All right, guys? Okay.
Okay.
Your camera finally works, Ting Ting. Yes, now you have to make sure your mic works. You're muted.
Sorry. I just took the new laptop, so I'm not familiar.
Not familiar. Okay. At least mine is still the old one, or still the TravelMate X, you know.
Now ISD have new laptop.
Yes.
Yeah.
So far, it's so good. I do not want to tempt fate. I have this tendency of when I change already, for the first 2 weeks, something is not working on, so I let it be.
So later they coming to fix the projector issue. Cannot project this.
Cannot project,
Yeah, yesterday when I was having class.
Okay, what we identified was this, some of the new laptops, the power on the HDMI output is not high enough or something like that. Because all of these have a certain level of voltage one. So the signal strength is not capable of certain length of HDMI. Because when the HDMI cable exceeds a certain length, the frequency goes down. So you need to have a booster or something like that. Same thing happening to Kaldeep also. Her laptop, certain places doesn't work because of the length. And then when we use mine, the old one, no problem.
Yeah, the old one, no problem.
Yes, all else the same. So if you identify, you look into what are the conditions, the only thing that changed was your laptop and the key aspects there.
That's why. So yesterday I wasted one day, the one class, because of this.
Ting Ting, with your experience, you no need laptop, so can teach lah.
Can teach, but then not so efficient already. That cannot be so fast already, Lucky I got backup plan. I immediately give them tutorial.
Tutorial. We are the masters in last minute changes, man.
Yeah.
Okay, it is 10:10. I hope everybody is back, guys. Ada, wait, siapa ni? More info. Waiting in the lobby. There's an unknown user. How does this work? Okay, fellow friends. Okay, very good. Okay, so now we have already finished the story on APEL A, which is assess. And I think you guys are pretty clear. Just a little bit of recap. We are not an APEL A center. Go to the MQA website. And recently they have included research-related programs, which now you can apply through APEL A also. Another thing, as I also told you, 90% of all our inquiries are all on APEL A, so it is good for us to know a little bit more about what APEL A is, even though we are unable to assess the students on that. Next is the key one, which is APEL C. We are an APEL C center here, and of all the institutions, only the University of Wollongong, Malaysia, is the APEL C center. Okay, and this is important because all the other programs in the other institutions, we are not allowed to do APEL C. Okay, so that's something that we need to take note. Okay, so APEL C is for who? See, brilliant question. Students who enter through APEL A or conventional route is open to anybody and everybody can apply for APEL C. All right. Who implements APEL C? Higher education providers approved by MQA. We are a higher education provider that is approved by MQA. We went through the auditing process, and this year we are going to renew our APEL C license. Now, so basically, how do we assess APEL C? Very straightforward. It is two factors. Students' competency, proving their competency versus course learning outcome. So every one of your course have CLOs. You need to make sure students meet those CLOs. Meeting means 50 and above. That's how about it. Okay, 50 and above. Maximum credits that you can attain, 30%. Informal and non-formal. Okay, formal is different now. Formal, okay, let me ask you these questions, guys. What is the maximum credit transfer allowed for formal process, formal credit transfer, maximum from diploma to degree, berapa peratus? Takkan tak tahu, guys. Diploma to degree, how many? What is, apa tu? 30.
30%.
30% is your practice or by regulation?
For our EAC
Sujata
requirement.
Entry EAC requirement is 30, correct. Sujata got it right. It is 50, yeah, guys. 4 years ago, the government changed the policy, yeah. Previously was 30, now is 50. Yes, it is 50. Now, can I ask you all, does your school practice 50 or not? Because 50 is optional, what the government is very good. They say sampai 50%. Not terpaksa bagi 50%. It depends on the institution. Okay? So it is 50%. Now, 50% is like this. Formal learning, 50%. Grade C's and above, 30. Grade B and above is 20. So it's 50. If your school don't practice, it is fine. But by regulation, it is 50. Non-formal APEL is 30. So 50 plus 30 is 80. No. You don't get 80% credit transfer. Then no need to study better lah. All right. So basically, the regulation is maximum of 60. So even though the student get formal learning 50, your APEL maximum only 10 is 60 maximum. If your formal learning is 40, you only can give 20. If your formal learning is 30, you can give 30. You see, however it is, maximum will be 60. All right, maximum is going to be 60. So visualize this, guys. A student that really follows through full formal learning, full FLC, let's say, very lucky, 30%. For a degree, 120 credits, you minus 60%, they only do 48 credits. 48 credits. No. Can. Don't shake. Can. That is how it is. You see that? So this is what it means. This is what it means. Okay. So when we talk about the process, this is how it is. Currently, our student from diploma to degree, we give maximum 30, but sometimes they don't even reach 30, right? Not 27%, 28%. But with APEL, another 30%. Good, that is the whole idea. The whole idea is to make it attractive for working people to continue. If you need the working person to do 90 credits, even with his experience, 90 credit part-time, one semester can do 10 credits, for example. He needs to do 9 semester, 9 semester means 3 years, He won't do lah. I don't think he will do. He is so pening kepala. Okay? How to commit? This is the example I'm giving lah. You see? So this is what the credit transfer is. Okay? Any questions so far, guys, on this credit transfer part? FLC is credit, So if no, I'm going to now emphasize on how this is done, how this FLC is done. Okay? So implementation of FLC, this is what we are going to do now. So FLC, Malaysian International Students, that is us. So what we do in FLC is we recognize prior experiential learning, non-formal and informal, for the purpose of credit award. Okay, so students do MOOC, students do what they call micro-credential, joint course, everything can. All areas and level of the MQF. Okay, now. So approved by MQA. So this, as we are a center that is approved by MQA and we comply by FLC policy. Programs approved by ministry and obtain at least a PA. Now, which program under the university can apply for FLC? Actually, for us all lah, because all our program at least PA Correct, right? Yeah. PA is provisional accreditation. FA is full accreditation. No need FA, PA also jalan already. So no problem. All our programs in the university, we don't run program that don't have even PA, correct, right? If your school is doing that, knock your head. Sure not, right? So everything, literally every single program. Okay, now FLC is credit transfer without grade and not credit exemption. Now, CT and CE, credit transfer and credit exemption is different now. A student can get exemption from marketing 4 credits. That doesn't mean he no need to replace 4 credit. He needs to replace that 4 credit with something else. That is called exemption. Credit transfer means automatically he is credit transfer of that 4 credit. He no need to do that 4 credit. So that is where the difference is. This terminology of exemption and credit transfer needs to be very, 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 very clear. You can tell the student, you are exempted from marketing. No problem. Don't do that. But that 4 credits need to pick up somewhere else. That is being exempted. Courses that form part of a program structure under professional bodies may be considered for APEL. Now, this is what I want to stress. Subject to acceptance by relevant professional bodies. APEL C, yes, all programs in UOW Malaysia, University of Wollongong, Malaysia, the university can. However, any program that is under the professional bodies. So now under the university, the only one under professional bodies will be engineering. They need to have the professional body to give green light. Okay? They need to have the professional body to give green light. Ministry already say can. We already say can. If professional body say no, cannot. Okay, this is very important. Very important. Now, who gets the approval? We are the one that needs to communicate with our professional bodies. Ask them, see, this student doing this and that, can give or not. The reason why the professional bodies are involved is because they do not want this to be done in a very ad hoc, no process manner. It needs to be very, very clear. All right. So they need to make, they really need to evaluate to ensure that this student attains all the learning outcomes. Or they may even say, I don't care, even though he was an engineer for the past 20 years working in a company as a whatever, he still need to do that. That means he must do. Okay. So that is why so far under APEL, engineering school got nobody lah, because they are more particular on that lah. However, I just want to put that if there are certain general subjects, like example, in your bachelor in engineering, you have language subjects, this and that, and those that are applied. Okay. Then the regulatory control may not go to the professional bodies. It can be you all. That one, you all need to decide lah. Okay. But if it is, because I believe engineering board don't regulate MPU, right?
No MPU, but our course structure, we don't have language. We don't have like English.
Yeah, then too bad lah. You guys, everything is under them lah. Then itu macam lah. Okay. So award of credit through APEL C cannot be transferred automatically to other program. A person gets APEL C for marketing in Bachelor of Business, cannot automatically transfer to, in case he transfer program to hospitality. The APEL C credit transfer cannot immediately go there, even though hospitality got marketing. There must be a minimum 80% LO of the two courses the same. So then there must be a comparison. If both the courses 80% similarity and above, okay. If no, cannot. Then whatever they apply for FLC, they pay, burn, gone. Okay. Award of credit through FLC equivalent to the credit value as what we said. You get full, you get. Okay. It is no such thing as partial credit now. We may laugh, but some institutions receive those kind of questions. It's like this. Marketing, 4 credits, got 4 CLO. Student cannot tell you, Miss, can I apply for 2 CLO? Then I don't do 2 credit. The other 2 I do. Cannot, no such thing. It is all or nothing. It is all or nothing. Okay, so you cannot break a course down into its individual CLO and apply accordingly. All right, so that is important. Okay, credits awarded for the course applicable to the specific course applied for are not credits are not automatically applicable to prerequisites. Now, this is also another unique thing. Maths 1, Maths 2. student apply, and Maths 1 is the prerequisite for Maths 2. Student apply APEL for Maths 2, pass. Still need to do Maths 1. Nothing to do with it. Still need to do Maths 1. Okay? But you may say, Maths 1 is a prerequisite. What? I get CT here already. Up to no, it doesn't have the link of prerequisite. It's individual subjects itself. Okay? Separate assessment for each course. Credit cannot be awarded. A credit award cannot be granted on a block basis. Individual subject need to have individual assessment. You cannot say one assessment, we do 5 subjects. Cannot. Individual. Okay? For all courses except project or dissertation. Example, if we are talking about a degree student got final year project, capstone, dissertation, cannot apply for FLC. Cannot apply for FLC. Required to do final year project, must do final year project. You cannot apply for FLC there. Understand? Okay, that was a bit unique. Okay. Executive diploma, no need to worry, we don't touch that. Okay. Now, implementation process. How do we implement this? Okay, so of course, we need to be transparent, equitable, and evidence-based. Students who apply for FLC, before registering for the relevant course, students need to apply for FLC before they register for the course. So the process is like this. Student join the program. After joining the program, students say that they want to apply for FLC before they register for the course. Then they apply for FLC. They go through the process, whether they pass or they fail FLC. If they pass FLC for that course, it is credit transfer. If they fail for that course, then they have to do the course back again. They have to do the course. Understand? Now, in the context of marketing, I have a student who walk in, want to do Bachelor of Business. Many years working in the industry. I am the marketing person. I'm a business lecturer counseling the student. I can tell the student, we got FLC here. With your experience, you can apply for FLC. But you cannot say, with your experience, you will get 12 credits credit transfer. You cannot say that. Because not assessed yet, Not assessed yet, you cannot guarantee. Who knows? He may have 20 years of experience working in a firm, in a bank. But what does he do? Only count money. That's all he do. All right. 20 years of counting money doesn't meet a lot of course learning outcome in the business program. Okay, so this is what it means. So during counseling, it is very important that we tell the students we have FLC. It is a process, but you cannot commit or tell the student how many credits you will get. Cannot. Okay, so even myself, when students come and counsel, when they come and I counsel them, I speak to them, I say, oh yes, with your experience, you can apply based on the recommendation of the school. The school will say, oh, you can, but no way we can say how many credits they will get credit transfer. That is very important. All right, because student cannot sign up to your program based on the inducement or the attraction that you promise. Automatically 20 credits credit transfer. Cannot. So that is something very, very, very strict. Very, very strict over here. Any questions there? Okay. All right. And we cannot do FLC assessment before the student signs up for the program. Let's say I'm a student, I come to UOW, I tell the counselor, hey, I work many years already. Can I do all my FLC assessment first? I do everyone already. Then if I enough credit, only I sign up for the program. No such thing. You must already sign up for the program. Only you can do FLC. Understand? Okay. That is very important. Okay. So what happens is courses awarded with FLC will appear on the transcript as CT APEL. CT APEL. Now we have in the CTA, they will call it CTA. Now our students got CT, right? There is this thing called CT from diploma to degree, same lah. That's with the A there. Okay. Not taken into account in the calculation of CGPA and GPA. Credit transfer, of course, so we don't count the CGPA there. Credits counted towards the total credit required graduation, and Malaysian qualification statement as supplementary document. Every student that goes through the APEL process, APEL C process, will get this document called Malaysian Qualification Statement. It's called an MQS. An MQS is a living cert. We need to issue a living cert for the student that they have completed this program, so on, so on, so on, and so on. That one, no need to worry. We will work with the school to come out, and it is signed off by the registrar. So Shankar actually signed off. Okay. Students who fail FLC assignment for the course applied for will have to complete the course through the usual process. So you apply for marketing, FLC, you fail, not competent. You need to do marketing again. Okay. And we need to keep record. Simple as that. So this is the process: pre-application, briefing, advisor, assessment mode. So how does it work? How does the whole process work? Very simple. Student already signed in your program. Student will normally go to the program leader. So the program leader will channel the student over to us here at FLC Center. We will talk to the student, explain to them what is FLC. So I will explain to them clear from top to bottom. This is what FLC is. Then students got time to think whether they want to apply. If the students want to apply, then we will then communicate with the school. The school will need to appoint an advisor, an assessor, and a moderator. Advisor is the one that will advise the student whether they can take this subject for APEL. No, it's not whether they are competent on that. Some students may think, wow, I know a little bit about accounting. I want to apply for credit transfer for accounting. You know, they may know what is debit and credit. So they think they want to apply. So the advisor will advise the student, say, hey, hello, my friend, you cannot, seriously. You don't have enough here already. All right. Okay. The assessor is the one that will assess the student. The moderator is the second marker. That's about it. Okay. So under the pre-application, we will explain to the student what is the assessment mode. Later, I'll explain to you. There are two types of assessment. So if the student agree, they will do self-assessment, then advisor recommendation, and then formal application, formally apply. There are all the documentation. This one is a process that we will advise the school what to do, and then the student will then go through the process. Now, application for each subject or course is 200 ringgit. If student pass APEL for credit transfer process is 500 ringgit. Okay. Total, it is still much cheaper than if they do the course. Okay. Application is 200. CT process is 500. Okay. Simple as that. Okay. Questions? So it's not free, yeah? It's not free, yeah? What are the instrument? What method of assessment? There are only two types that can choose either one or N. There's an N over here, done. On the left, it's called the challenge test. Challenge test is any kind of assessment in the traditional sense. Written test, oral test, presentation, stimulation, and so on. If you go and do a practical test in the kitchen, make a cake, it's called challenge test. You ask the student to write an essay, challenge test. You get a student to sit down to do accounting paper, 3 hours, it's called challenge test. You get a student to do presentation because the subject is called public speaking, challenge test. Certain subjects cannot use challenge tests. It will be a portfolio, like design and creative elements. Cannot challenge test, so it's portfolio. They show the students the work that they have done. Okay. This is something that is important. Who determines this challenge test or portfolio? Not me. I'm not the expert. The advisor, the school will determine. Previously, the recent case that we have gone through was this guy called Prem. You may know him. Just graduate only, Prem. he was under SCCA. Okay, SCCA. And because of that, the advisor was Mr. Lu or Mr. Zaki. Okay, advisor. Then the assessor, depending on the subject expert. Different subject, different expert lah. So the assessor was different. Okay, so Zaki, example, if Zaki is the advisor, he will then appoint an assessor for the subject, and then they will decide lah, what is the best method for this subject. Okay, what is the best method? Okay, so certain subjects, certain courses will be challenge tests. Certain courses will very much be portfolio, demonstration of work prior done. Questions? Understand, huh? Okay, now, certain courses may require an end. You do a challenge test and we do a portfolio. Also can, it depends. All right, portfolio submission must have an interview. Must have. So whatever students give on a portfolio is like a file. Then after that, there must be an interview. The interview is the time where you, the assessor, you will interview with the moderator. You sit down there, interview. You say that you have done this. What is the proof? You say you this. What is the proof? How do you demonstrate? What is your learning and so on? To ascertain that he meets the course learning outcome. Everything is course learning outcome. Okay. So this is the instruments. So how do we know whether a student passed? What we need to assess is every CLO must meet 50%. So if it is an exam, written test, a challenge test is an exam, there are 4 CLOs in your course. You got to make sure that every CLO is assessed and that he passed every single one. If there are 4 CLOs and first CLO 65%, second 70%, third 49%, fourth 100%, the student still fail APEL. Why? This CLO not met. 49 is below 50, not met. If you fail one CLO, you fail the whole thing. Understand? You fail one CLO, you fail the whole thing. So that is why every CLO. So now you may think, Gabe, can one assessment assess all 4 CLO? Maybe not. You look at your 4 CLO. Some of them may be knowledge, some of them may be presentation skill. So you need to do 2 lah. On that day, the student may need to do a presentation. After presentation finish, need to do a written test. It doesn't mean, I just want to go back here, it doesn't mean challenge test, you buat 1. If 1 cukup, well and good. If 1 tak cukup, you want to do 4 lah. Because your CLO is that you need to do 4 instruments to test the CLO. It's up to you, there's no problem. Our challenge test we did was because our candidate was from the culinary school. Everything was demonstration of product. So it was very easy. Go to the kitchen. And her challenge test is 5 hours. 5 hours test. So one sitting, the evaluated 5 hours. And go. And the whole process of this challenge test and portfolio is conducted like a normal exam. Exam department will be informed. Kin will come to wherever the test is, put up the signboard, put up the keep silent, check attendance, put the clock, and she or her staff will also be inside to evaluate as the third party. That is how stringent it is. It is not my mind one that, oh, this one my friend, your friend, my friend, your friend, pass. No, Kin is inside there. Or she will send her representative lah, exam department. So this is what it is. Okay, so if it is a test, exam, if it falls in nicely during final exam or receipt, okay, well and good. We can have it at the same time. If not, don't worry. APEL C can be applied anytime. It is not fixed. So if it doesn't fall that time, no problem. We always use DC 1 and 2 to be our exam center. DC 1 and 2 to be exam. So we set it like exam hall. Students sit inside to do exam. Okay? So it's serious lah. Okay? Documentation also the same. Even you do your challenge test, when you set exam questions, it is exactly the same as how you would set in your normal exam questions that you normally set. 2 papers, moderation, and so on. Exactly the same. Exactly the same process. Okay. And the results I will present in school assessment board, and eventually Dr. Horn presents it in the Senate. It must go through all of these levels. So it's exactly the same. Okay. Questions? Ken? Yeah. Yeah. Think. You need to unmute it.
Yes. Based on this statement, it was stated that the maximum transfer credit, let's say from diploma to degree, is 30%. Yeah. So credit transfer above may include APEL C component, right? So APEL C component, as what we learned today, is maximum 60%, correct?
No, APEL C is 30.
30%.
Maximum 30.
Maximum 30%. So
yeah.
Here we have, let's say this student come in, we already give 30% of credit transfer because from diploma to degree.
Very good.
Okay, so 30% already. So another 30% come from FLC.
30, correct. Maximum.
So it means that, let's say this student got credit transfer is based on, subject to subjects credit transfer.
30.
Yeah, and then he can submit his portfolio or whatever experience.
Because he has worked before, or because he has done a lot of things lah. 30.
So we count another 30%.
Correct. Then maximum of 60.
Okay. And then how about this one, like grade C 30% and then grade B
you see my screen?
20%.
This one is not APEL. This is normal formal transfer regulation and rule. 18 months ago, or 2 years ago roughly, the government changed this. Previously, our credit transfer between levels from diploma to degree was only 30%. C's and above 30%. Everybody agree, yeah? But then 18 months ago, they have changed it to 50%. C grade and above is 30, B grade and above is 20. So if your student is an A student all the way, he can transfer 50% if your school accept it. The government also say that this 50% here, 30 dan 20, is regulated by the school. So a lot of you all, like engineering school and so on, may only say 30 lah.
Yeah. So far, we only practice 30. We never,
no problem.
go more than that.
You guys are standard, you're bearing a standard, up to you. However, if you are giving 30, Taylor, Sunway, Sagi, Inti, everybody give 50. Student not stupid. All the programs, MQA certified, FA. Taylor's, I get 50% CT. UOW give 30. Fees are the same. 50% discount and 30% discount is a lot of difference. So it becomes a marketing decision.
That's why now I want to explore like how, the formal learning, right, the 50%, right? If let's say I have a very good student from my diploma to degree, so which means he scored a lot of A's. So I can basically give up to 50%.
Correct. You will not be wrong. You will not break any law or rule if you give until 50%.
So this is comply to what look at the message, the statement saying that credit transfer, the last sentence, right?
Oh, this the one in red.
The one.
Wait, what are you looking at? Are you looking at my screen?
The message then, chat message.
Oh, this chat message. Okay.
Yeah.
Cakap lah, chat message. I didn't see this chat message. Okay, I can't see the... maximum of 50% of the total credit units is allowed. Credit transfer for a specific, a maximum 30% of total credit units is allowed for vertical. This is vertical, okay?
Yeah.
The collaboration, correction, credit transfer as described above may include correct may include.
So I can follow this set, isn't it? The formal learning 50%.
No, let me close this. May include. However, actually, it is 60. You can go as high as 60 because even though your student, a very good student, you already give 50. But the rule states that APEL C got 30 mah, but it is not 80 because however it is, the maximum is 60. So if you already give 50, the student can only apply for another 10 because that is a maximum of 60. So what you're trying to say here is the 50%, let's say you're giving on this formal learning or whatever, it can include also APEL C, which is actually 60, so that that statement doesn't really have an impact. Understand?
Okay.
Engineering, my only concern is this. Whatever you all do, must make sure your engineering board agree lah, you know.
Yes, that's the thing.
That's the thing.
Then definitely they will follow the first paragraph.
This formal learning 50%. No, see,
It's like degree to degree 50%, diploma to degree 30%.
That is their own practice. No issue, no issue. But
But we want to have more for our students to attract the student to come. You see, now we get more and more international students. Like what
so
you
generally,
say, like
the rule allowed. But if engineering board still say no, then it's up to you all lah. I mean, because engineering board is very dictative in that matter lah. Okay.
That's why
the other schools, you all can explore lah. You all can explore. The other schools, you guys are all right. I think you're not much of a problem, correct? Any of the schools here, you all practice formal learning from diploma to degree or certificate to diploma 50%?
Yeah.
Got or not? Any of y'all? If I'm not wrong, SHDCA does from cert to diploma. SHDCA does from cert because they want to make it attractive for the certs to flow over. And there is no external body to govern it in that way. And it is allowed. Why not? Can think about it lah.
Sujata, Miss Sujata, your school, do you practice this, the 50%? Because computing and engineering quite close.
Yeah. I doubt it lah. I maybe not. Yeah. Okay. Maybe she is not there. Okay. Julian, you any idea, Julian?
Yeah, Julian.
Hello. So this is a bit concerning. I have people here who are not here. Siti.
Yeah, can you hear me?
You practice that 50%.
Yeah, we practice.
Your practice,
So means that
no,
practice. No. Okay, so let's.
No, we don't actually practice it. I mean, if there are cases that are eligible for it, yes, we do. But at the moment, I mean, but we haven't had any case where we had to give them up to 50% credit transfer.
Normally, how many percent that you all give?
I think maximum is about 30, 33 max.
Oh, that means you all still do exceed 30 lah. It may not reach 50
Slightly,
lah.
but rarely rarely. That's a rare occurrence.
Yeah. Guys, for this formal learning, when they say 50% is max lah, of course you can do 45, 40, 35, and so on, you know. But if this will be a selling point, then it can be something to think about. Think about it. You want to have further discussion, we can do it. It can be, you know, something that you may want to consider, because based on this, there is a lot of opportunities that can target different kind of market. Yeah. Okay. So we already on the assessment part, the payment, the portfolio. You understand, the challenge test and portfolio. Every CLO is 50%. So this is generally the process. The process. Start, learner undertake self-assessment. Learn after my briefing. We brief already. Then the learner with the advisor will do a self-assessment. They will assess. I want to apply for marketing because I have done this, I've done that, and so on. After they do a self-assessment, they will give the essay and then the chat with the advisor, which is the school lah. So if engineering, it could be Ting Ting lah. For example, let's use that. Ting Ting will say eligible, yes or no. After looking, she may say, "Ayo, you cannot lah." Explain to the student, "I'm very sorry, you are unable to because you don't meet these CLOs and so on." Straight away, no need, all the way, notify learner and if eligible, yes, learner submits APEL-C application form. Then only they pay the 200 ringgit. The first stage, if no, we don't charge money. We don't strangle the student out there. 201. No. No means no lah. Free. Yes, 200 ringgit. Then they do assessment. Challenge test, portfolio submission, and or if challenge test mark, portfolio mark, if it is pass, down, fail, appeal. The student can appeal if they want. Pay money, appeal. If they don't want to appeal, it's up to them. They may think cannot. Pass, yes, endorsed by Academic Board Senate, credits awarded, notification to learners. How will the credits be awarded? It's very easy. Visualize APEL-C Center like an external entity. It's like Taylor's Sunway or whatever. When student pass on APEL-C Center, we will issue a transcript, chopped and signed by APEL-C Center. With that, students will go to the PL. The PL will do credit transfer like normal in the system. Like normal lah, student bring Taylor's transcript or whatever, same. So with that, they will do. Okay. Now, students registration. Now, so what is important here is we need to understand that the process itself is students in your school first will talk to you all. Then you all will then communicate with APEL-C Center. Just say, "Hey, Gabe, there is this student interested in APEL-C." We will say, "Come over tomorrow. We'll make appointment, chat with the student and explain to them." That is what is important. We want to explain and be clear to the student. Because, guys, even for me to explain APEL to even my colleagues, sometimes the same question has been asked, which is normal. Just picture the student. The student, sometimes they don't understand. What is this? Some students even think, I apply means immediately I no need to do the subject. No such thing. There must be an assessment. Okay? There must be a factor pertaining to... kat sofa. Okay. Okay, boleh. Thank you. Okay. All right. The cleaner brought a handphone. Somebody left here. So see our TLC center, people leave everything on. Believe it or not, we actually found spectacle, in the room. For me, without spectacle, I'm blind. How did that person can leave a spectacle and walk out? Forget it. Welcome to our world. Okay, so basically that is the general key process itself. All right. So guys, when you talk about APEL, that is how it is. Students, at times we will really need to explain to them. And even after I explain to them, doesn't mean they will take, many of them, after we explain, wow, like that, I take the subject. You see? So that is our role. We communicate. Hazim, or myself, or any of my colleagues over here will be able to explain per se on what APEL-C is all about. Okay? Key thing before we end is this. Evidence is key. When we talk about APEL, the main thing is evidence. People will always ask, why is this student getting a credit transfer for APEL-C for marketing? We must be able to justify it, or because this person has done this and that. This student has proven his or her competency through this mechanism of challenge test that was conducted when, and this is the tool. You see, must have evidence. How come this student can apply? Why do you give APEL-C credit transfer for this person pertaining on matters of design? Student has proven using a portfolio and interview, proven to us based on the portfolio and the interview that he has done this, that, supported with photographs, supported with a letter by his previous employer to prove that this person has done what, and so on. You get it or not? All evidence. We cannot say students told me that he can do. That is the key thing about APEL. And the thing is this, APEL C Center is the record holder. But we are not the one to answer it because the advisor, the assessor, and the moderator are the one that need to answer. We are just the facilitator, administrator. But the subject expert is you, You are the subject expert. So the question goes to the lecturer, goes to the advisor itself. Okay, so they need the justification there. Oh, this student has proven. Look at the CLOs over here, and so on. That is why after the assessment, this person attained that particular credit transfer. Boleh? Boleh? Faham?
Okay.
So ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end. Yes. That is basically the journey of APEL. We understand accreditation of prior experiential learning, how it started, why it started. There are numerous types, A, C, and Q, and a subset of A, which is M. We also understand that the most popular that we inquire is on A, access, which we are unable to do, and the student needs to go to MQA website to apply. However, we have a partner, UPNM, that does APEL A, which we can channel to them. We are an APEL C Center. C stands for credit, and the only institution of all four is only UOW Malaysia, University of Wollongong, Malaysia, which is the university in Glen Marie. Okay, and we understood that APEL C is open for students, and there is going to be a charge to it, and it is going to be subject or cost-based, where students will apply to get credit transfer, and the students need to demonstrate competency in every single CLO for them to attain credit transfer over there. Understand? So that, in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen, is what APEL is, and us as an APEL C Center. Any questions in summation? Any questions?
Means that APEL A, the student need not to go through us. They can go through MQA, go through other university. Then they bring the certificate to us. We still can let them join the program.
Definitely.
APEL C is stick to the university.
We are APEL C Center, not APEL A. You are correct. Stick to university, correct. Only university program, correct. Sometimes
so college program cannot.
No, because we must understand this building got 3 license one,
Yeah.
We always think this building is 1, but this building is 3, APEL is institution link. And it is linked to the university only. If we want the college separate submission, now it's linked to the university only. Code different, institution code different. Tak boleh.
So Penang campus also they have APEL C also.
No more. Previously they had, however, they did not continue on that.
They did not continue means, okay.
Every 5 years you need to
another
renew.
30%.
Every 5 years you need to renew, and management decision was not to renew lah.
Okay.
Okay, understand?
Yeah.
Anything further, guys? Because I foresee this is a big opportunity and a big business, because we have been receiving a lot of inquiries. I honestly, we've been receiving a lot of inquiries. As I said, 90% is APEL A lah. So if you all need further, just a chat or whatever, feel free to drop by anytime. We can look at different opportunities and areas pertaining to APEL itself. Okay? All right, guys?
Okay.
All right. With that, if there are no other questions, thank you very much. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. I'll see you when I see you. Okay? In the next week, I'm going to do, if I'm not sure, next week or the following week is about graduate attributes. So if you all can, please come and join. How to implement graduate attributes in your courses. Quite fun. Okay. That one very short, don't worry. All right, see you guys. Bye-bye. See you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.